Morning, guys. The Deadly Vault, day 17. Morning, guys. Been hearing so much about automation. Daily Vault, Daily Vault 5, the Daily Vault 500. It's day 17, people. Appreciate you guys for tapping in. Day 17 doesn't sound, 500 doesn't sound so bad when you're on day 17. But been hearing so much about automation that I wanted to get on here and talk about it. Automation and robotics. It's one of the key topics in AI and technology right now. We've seen a lot of companies, they're trying new things. Amazon says that the job loss from automation hasn't been so severe because a lot of the jobs, not really jobs, but duties that were replaced had to do with like carrying a package from one location to another. So, and a lot of the job cuts with Amazon came from COVID. This is what they're saying. Um, so basically, that's what Amazon is saying, that the job cuts that they have wasn't due to automation and robotics. The majority of the job cuts came because of they were getting rid of people from the influx that they had from COVID. But over the past couple of days, I've been seeing a lot of different jobs. It's like people experimenting with AI, right? And something interesting I saw the other day was, you know how they have like TikTok shop, and they had two guys look like real people, but they were like AI robots, and they had them selling things on TikTok, and they trained the AI robots to sell things. They trained them on the products, they trained them on questions, they trained the AI on questions. So people were ordering things from these robots, but they looked like real people. It looked like they were answering questions, they were answering customer service questions about the product, and it looked like they were real people, but they were actually AI robots that were selling things on TikTok. So I think they said the robots sold a couple of million worth of merchandise. And the interesting thing about it, robots don't get tired. Robots don't need lunch breaks. They can go all day, 24/7. So, um, is that another job that's lost? Customer service? I mean, completely lost. Even in-person customer service. Would people rather deal with a robot? So I saw another something else. I'm probably gonna bring up that article where they were using robots in a restaurant. In the restaurant, the robot was cooking, and they said that the robot got the recipe perfect every time in the restaurant. And you see it in the rest of the robot cooking and whatever. This is interesting. And these things are in effect. These things are happening already. They're using robots in restaurants. They're using robots in live customer service to sell things. I'm gonna get into some of the articles and stuff that I have, but it's interesting. So let me get into it. Yeah. Okay, you see, Amazon says it's a myth that robots are killing jobs. So let's look at some stats. It says in the US, 2.4 million jobs were impacted by AI-driven automation between 20 and 24, with another 1.1 million projected to be disrupted in 2025 alone. So over a million jobs just in 2020 are going to be disrupted. So that may not be a bad thing, though. I think people are getting so scared. Disrupted could mean anything, right? It could mean that they're changing jobs. They're you won't have that job, but they're going to give you a different job. AI is going to create jobs as well as get rid of jobs, right? So take a look at this. The question is, do you care if you go to a restaurant and your food is made by a robot? Some people might say it might be better. The other day I saw on the news where someone spit in the person's food. Got caught on camera. Person was arrested or whatever. But a robot's not gonna spit in your food, right? You don't have the human error problems. I'm not condoning it, honestly. I would rather see people working. But if they get rid of that job, let's say you had a robot just to flip burgers. Now you have somebody that could concentrate on doing something else, like working at the register. You have an extra body, extra person to clean. You might be able to keep the place cleaner. So, see, administration and support, data entry have seen a 45% reduction. So these simple, repetitive jobs, they're gonna go away. But we've seen these jobs slowly going away anyway, right? So for a long time, we've seen a decrease in these type of jobs, customer service administration jobs, right? How long have when we call Verizon, one of the major billion-dollar companies? I use Verizon myself, and you got a robot. It's been a long time. We're used to it now. They give you the option for a live person, but you're gonna get the robot first. It's been that way for a while, right? How many jobs did that take away? There was a point where you used to go right to a live person. How long ago was that? When you used to just go directly to a live person, you know? How long ago was that? Now you see what Goldman and Sachs said, right? 300 million jobs. And Sachs report 18% global work. This is global now. We're not talking about, there's only 300 million people in the US. So we're talking global. But still, that's crazy. AI is saving these companies money, but it's getting rid of 300 million jobs globally. So what are those people gonna do? A lot of those people are low-skilled people, as far as education and stuff like that. What are they gonna do? So, and then the last one there says AI is gonna create 97 million new jobs globally, but we're gonna lose 300 million. So that's still a little over 200 million job loss. So what are you guys gonna do? Warehouse workers, taxi drivers, they're about to drop heavy robo taxis all over the country. All these, so many jobs are being replaced, right? So are these companies gonna train people in AI so they can keep them? Train them on how to fix AI? But then that's gonna be like a trade, right? For you to be able to fix a robot, you're gonna have to go to trade school. Maybe not college. A lot of people are not thinking college anymore. But me, personally, uh, I always do the opposite of what other people do. So if people say, don't go to college, I go to college, I get another degree. My mom told me that when I was young. Do the opposite of what the majority of the people do. So that's why I went to school, got a couple of master's degrees. I'm gonna go back and get my doctorate degree because people are saying you don't need college. I'm not gonna listen. Not gonna listen to that. I saw there's a guy who's a big marketing guy. His name is Gary Vee. And I'm sure you heard of him, seen him, his speeches and stuff. He says they don't look for college when they're hiring new employees. Hey, that's cool. I'm going back. I'm gonna get a doctorate degree. I'm about to retire as a teacher. I'm still gonna go back and get another doctorate degree. I mean, to get a doctorate degree. I have 2 masters, but I'm gonna go back and get a doctorate degree just because people are saying they don't need college anymore. All right? They don't need college, but you need to know you have to have skills. Trade schools and stuff like that are cool. And you got to go with what floats your boat. If college is not for you, it's not for you. You know, it's really that simple. You know, to a person saying to someone, you don't need college to make it, to a person that wants to go to college, it doesn't make sense. But saying it to somebody that doesn't want to go to college, it makes sense, right? People, my point, people are going to do what they want to do anyway. Don't matter what you think. It don't matter. What matters is if you're trying to be a doctor, you can't not go to school. If you want to be a teacher like me, you can teach online, but you can't teach at a school or college unless you got a couple of degrees. You're not going to get those good benefits. You're not going to get those summers off. You're not going to get those weekends off without those degrees stacked up. So, saying that college, you don't need it, only applies to certain people, right? Certain people have to go. Teachers have to go, like me. We gotta go. No choice. Okay. So back to Amazon. They claim AI has helped them reduce costs 25%. So you see, around COVID, right? They had 1.6 million. And then in 2024, it dipped to 1.5. Now, a lot of that could have been due to COVID. So we won't really know the effects of job loss until give it another year, I guess. 2026. 2026, we can kind of look at the data from 2025 and see if there's an even bigger dip. Because Amazon is using heavy automation inside their warehouse. Heavy AI, right? We see the robots that are taking packages from one location to another. And they're targeting certain areas within the warehouse, jobs like taking packages to a different location, where people put the packages on the cart and then they bring it to a different location. That's been automated somewhat. I don't work for Amazon, so I don't know how much automation that they're using in all their warehouses, but I've seen some of it. So what does all this mean for the regular person that just wants to get a job? What does automation mean for them? I went to college, but I feel like trade school could be a really good option for a lot of people in the future. I saw President Trump. He was having a great conversation online. You could probably find it about automation and trade schools becoming a big thing, and that it's hard to automate an electrician, right? It's hard to automate a plumber, someone that has to go to someone's house, cut pipes, replace pipes. That's something that's really difficult to automate. So a lot of these physical trade jobs are going to be the move in the future. These jobs that we hate, climbing up on things, putting things together, those type of jobs are going to be the move. They say there's no guarantee that trade jobs, a trade education is going to be better than a college degree in the future. But if you were heading in that direction anyway, like if you're the person that didn't want to go to college, you're not a tech person, you're not a science person, you kind of got a liberal arts degree, instead of going to college, a trade school might be better for a person like that. Learning a trade. Instead of paying the college degrees are expensive now, man. Paying 150,000 for a liberal arts degree. I don't really think paying 150,000 for a liberal arts degree is cutting it anymore. I think if you're gonna get a degree like liberal arts, might as well just go to a trade school. You know, you can learn probably the same thing that you're gonna learn with a liberal arts degree in a trade school for 6 months. So it's gonna be interesting to see how these things play out in the future. So, like I was saying, there's jobs that they're automating that I ain't even think about that you could automate. Like, even with the fast food restaurants, I was surprised when I saw them, the robots making burgers, getting it right perfectly. The food going through a chute, then coming out on the other side. This was amazing to me. And I want to see one of these restaurants. I want to go eat in a restaurant where the food is made by a robot. I want to try the food. They say these guys are perfect chefs. They don't make mistakes. The only mistake is if what happens if it breaks down? What happens if you're in a restaurant, the cook is a robot, you got one robot that cooks and it breaks down. Do you have someone there that replaces that cook? How does that work? Do you have somebody there that's experienced with AI that can fix it? Do you have extra robots on the side? That whole thing is baffling to me. What happens when your robot breaks down in a restaurant that's cooking? Are we training these people in the restaurant to fix the robot? If that work, you know? Talking about automation and job loss, if you're just tapping in, it's the Vault 500. If you're new here, streaming for the next 500 days. Basically, I'm a teacher. I talk about different topics. Yeah, so thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. But automation, I'm a tech person. And I'm really into automation and AI. But I didn't even think that the effect of AI would be so devastating. Coming from someone that's a tech person, I didn't think it was going to be this devastating. Everyone was saying like, oh, AI is coming. There's going to be big job losses and stuff like that. I really didn't expect for it to be this big. 300 million job losses worldwide? 300 million? So I'm about to end the stream, people. Thank you guys for tapping in. Appreciate you guys. Today I wanted to go in a little bit about automation and how it's affecting jobs. We're about to lose over 300 million jobs globally to automation. And you know how many of those jobs are being replaced with AI jobs? Closer to 100 million. So we're definitely globally going to lose 200 million jobs without replacements. And then those jobs that are being replaced, those 100 million jobs, you're going to need to know how to use an AI. So if you're not really looking at what's going on with AI and you're a young person, I'm talking to young people. If you're about to retire and you're older, you know, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the young people. AI is going to take a lot of jobs. And that's why I specifically wanted to talk about that today. It's going to replace a lot of jobs. So I'm hearing the big talk about trade jobs, and they're increasing trade education programs. And they feel like that's going to be the way to go for a lot of the new generation trade jobs, you know, plumbing and stuff like that, I guess, and electrician. But I even seen that they were automating electrician jobs. I saw a robot on a tower fixing some wires, and they said if the robot gets electrocuted, you don't have a problem because it's a robot, you know. So even that job, which is considered like a trade job, right? Electrician, I've seen robots doing that job. So, but basically, you know, if you can get anything out of what we talked about today, know that we're going to lose 300 jobs to AI, 300 million jobs to AI globally, and about 100 million of those jobs are going to be replaced with AI. So you're going to have to know AI in the future. So, you know, whatever you can learn, whatever you can latch on to, really start thinking about what type of job you want in the future, because a lot of jobs are already gone, especially when it comes to customer service, administration jobs. A lot of these jobs are already gone. So, you know, think about that. You know, really get into, you know, I'm going to start getting more, a little bit even deeper into AI and automation on the next couple of shows. But really think about the automation and job loss that's happening right now, you know, especially if you're a young person. And because it's going to affect you the most, you know. It's not really going to affect me. I'm older. I'm retiring soon. So, but you young people, you got to make sure that you know, you understand automation and your future, you know. For the doctors, the teachers, people like that, it's going to affect you too, but it's not going to affect you as much. Automation might help doctors, depending. But it's King here. It's Daily Vault 500, day 17. Appreciate you guys for tapping in. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. But make sure you learn about automation, technology, and how it's going to affect people in the future. All right, King here, I'm out. Daily Vault 500, day 17.